I started my business since 2009. I have been using social media and digital marketing to grow my business. That is what we have focused on. Now, I do admit that in the very, very early years, I did some local networking, but after that, it was all done on social media and through digital marketing techniques. So I have enjoyed geeking out on those for a long time, and I'm ready to share with you what I learn and what we're doing in our business as well in terms of social media marketing and digital marketing. So But today I am speaking about pillar content. And what is pillar content? Why is it something we should be producing? And how it can help us overall in getting our message out there to the marketplace, to our ideal clients, and attract the leads that we wanted to attract. So pillar content is a main piece of content that you would produce in your business. And by content, I mean either a podcast, a video, or a written blog post. Now, ideally, you want to be doing whichever one works best for you, and you want to be doing it on a weekly basis. You want to be doing it consistently within your business. So you will choose whichever mechanism is going to work best for you and your business. Each week, produce a piece of content on that medium or through that medium that would be hosted on your website, and that would be your main piece of content for the week. When you have that main piece of content in place, whether it be a video, a podcast episode, or a written blog post, what you can then do is throughout the week on your social platforms, you can be chopping that up into smaller posts or shorter videos or smaller pieces of audio, putting it out in your various platforms, and therefore you end up creating lots of other pieces of content which you can share, which all feed back to this one piece of weekly pillar content. It means that when you are producing content, you don't need to be reinventing the wheel day after day after day. You can take snippets of what you've already produced and make sure that you are getting bang for your buck in terms of the production time and the production value that you have spent on that weekly piece of content. Now, like I mentioned, we want that housed on our website, and we want it housed on our website mainly because when it comes to social media, digital marketing, your website is actually the only place that you actually have control of, that you own. All the other platforms, you are basically renting space on there, and usually renting space for free on those platforms. And therefore, you want to make sure that your content, the primary home, is your website. Not only is that useful if one of your social platforms gets shut down, for example, you've still got your content available, but also that's the place that you want to be driving your leads to, your ideal client to, so that they can find out more about you, so that they can book a call with you, whatever your mechanism then is for getting a client and customer on board. So you want that content housed on your website for that reason. That Facebook, for example, is not yours to own. Therefore, someone could come and shut you down tomorrow. I mean, look at Trump. Someone could come and shut you down tomorrow, and you would have no access to your content. You'd lost all that IP that you'd produced. But secondly, you want to be able to pull in your ideal client. You want them to get immersed in your content and material and in your website and find out more about you and arrange to take the next step in the process with you, whether that's book a call, fill in a form, whatever that happens to be in your practice and in your firm. So getting your pillar piece of content on your website as a starter is the most important. And then when you chunk up your content, when you put these small pieces around the various social media platforms, you're always directing back to your main piece of pillar content on your website. Now, I also mentioned that you want to be doing this weekly. You want to ideally get that consistency behind your posting so that your audience, your ideal client, knows when to expect your next podcast episode or your next YouTube video or your next blog post to come out. You want to get to the point where they are waiting for bated breath for the next episode to be released. I know I have that particularly with a number of podcasts that I subscribe to. I can't wait for the next one. I know the day that they come out and I'm looking forward to it. And if it gets to lunchtime and it's not released, the episode, I'm kind of confused. I'm thinking, well, where is it? What's happened? This is strange. And you want your ideal client to feel like that about your content, because in them consuming your content, in them becoming mega fans, they come in and they start to know, like, and trust you. You start to build that rapport up with them. And then when they come on board to become a client of yours, for them, it feels like just such a natural progression because they already know you, because they've already been consuming everything you have to offer. And it still surprises me when I have someone come on board and say, oh yeah, I've been listening to your podcast for a year. Particularly with podcasts, because you don't get to see who the people who are watching are. Slightly different with video when people are commenting and things. But it's really exciting when somebody says to you, oh yeah, I've been following you for a while. I've been watching your videos for a few months, or I've been tuning into your podcast. All those things are a great way to bring people in. So like I mentioned with your pillar content, you want to choose one of those mediums. Now, of course, the ideal situation is that you're producing in all types of medium, because some people like to watch, some people like to listen, and some people like to read. And therefore, if you are producing in all those areas, what it means is that actually you can reach a wider audience. However, I don't want to overwhelm you at this stage, particularly if you're not producing content consistently. What I would recommend is you choose one, you go with that, and that's your content. Now, if you're a little bit further on in terms of producing content in your business, maybe you do want to add a second medium into the mix. Now, by far the easiest way to do this would be to actually have a video and do a weekly video. Because when you do a weekly video, you can strip the audio and that can become your podcast. When you do a weekly video, you can transcribe what you've said, and that can become your blog post. And so you can actually end up with a podcast, a blog post, and a video from one weekly video. And that is ignoring the fact that you're then going to chunk those up. So you're going to get, segments of your writing, of your written post, and you'll be able to post that and lead people back to the original post. You might be able to chop up your videos into smaller segments and lead people back to the bigger video and all those things. So this is a way that you can actually make your content production simple, straightforward, and easy. You can produce one piece of pillar content every single week. You can have lots of content spawning off the back of that, and you can reach your audience and post it on the social platforms that you currently operate on. So I hope that has been helpful for you in understanding a little bit about what pillar content actually is, in really getting to understand the consistency actually really, really matters with your pillar content, and giving you an insight into how you can start producing other pieces of content, which all lead back to your pillar content, which of course is hosted on your website, which gets people into your process. I have enjoyed chatting to you today. Any questions, queries, let me know in the comments. Any topics you want me to discuss, you can also let me know in the comments, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.